Hello everyone, I am back again with these stress relief and self-care cards. The three I pulled today are kind of all about like meditation and relaxing and just kind of like picturing yourself in a better place. Um, so it is now the second month of 2023, and where has the time even gone? I feel like January is kind of like this weird time. You're still kind of like in the holiday mood. You're still kind of, throwing your schedule to the side. Like you're not quite focused, but also you are kind of like oddly motivated to change your whole life, because it's the beginning of the year. Anyways, February I feel like brings on more calming. Sorry, my phone is distracting. I feel like February brings on more calming vibes, right? Like, we're not so much in the holiday mood anymore. We're still kind of motivated. I'm trying to help everyone stay motivated throughout the year, not just in January. But, anyways, I feel like I slack a bit on self care sometimes, as everyone does, I'm sure. And I feel like these three are really helpful. So this first one is, do you hear that? Tuning into the sounds of life. It says, find somewhere that is quiet. Take a nice deep breath. As you breathe, notice the sound of your heart beating. Tune into that sound. Try slowing your heart rate down with each deep breath. Listen to the sound of your breathing. Take everything in. Relax your mind and body. So I think this kind of takes like deep breathing exercises to the next level, right? So you're going to take deep breaths, but you're really focusing on what you're hearing. And I feel like that really helps me calm down and relax. I use a technique kind of like that when I'm having an anxiety attack. Um, Usually, instead of closing my eyes, I will focus on things I can hear, but also things that I can see. And I try to point out like all the pink things or all the purple things. We've talked about grounding exercises before. But I also try to listen as well. Like, do I hear birds chirping? Like, it just helps bring me back to the moment, out of the anxiety. Okay, this next one is environmental awareness, seeing things for the first time. And it says, go outside or look through a window. Really notice the environment around you. Notice the shapes and colors. Notice how the light from the sun lights things up. Notice any areas of shade. Try and see things like you are seeing them for the very first time. This exercise I thought was really great. I did it for the first time yesterday. I went outside. I noticed where the sun was shining. I noticed how green the grass looked in those spots. I looked for the shady spots. And it also made me think, like, this would be great to do if you're trying to plant a garden, right? So you know where the sun is, where the shade is. You'd have to do it numerous times. But it was really relaxing, and it was really nice to kind of focus on what was happening just like in the space of my front yard. Um, and of course, being outside helps, sunshine, fresh air, all of that can help you relax as well. Okay, this last one is mountain meditation, gaining strength. Imagine yourself sitting atop a mountain and take a nice deep breath. Notice how majestic you feel. Breathe in the powerful energy. Feel the energy of the mountain moving through you. Open up your mind. Take in everything. Observe the mountain and notice what you see, sense, or feel. What can you learn from the mountain? Make a pact to be stable yet flexible as you move through the different seasons of life. This one really got to me. I did it this morning, and I don't know, I felt like such an overwhelming, like, just sense of sadness after. Like I felt like the weight of the mountain was on my shoulders. So it really helped me work through some of that. I determined that I'm feeling pretty overwhelmed lately, and so I'm trying to revamp my schedule. I'm trying to schedule more things, which sounds like it would be more overwhelming, But if I have like a set schedule to do those activities in, I feel like I'm able to get more things done and feel less overwhelmed. Because, like, for example, filming YouTube videos, I've given myself an hour block of time to film a YouTube video and an hour block of time to like research for the video or type up a script for the video and stuff like that. So I know I'm working on YouTube for at least 2 hours. But then later in the day, if I have an idea or something for YouTube, I may jot it down. But it doesn't mean that I'm stopping what I'm doing and going and writing the script or researching it or filming it. So it really helps me like break up my day into certain activities that I need to do. Another good example is the nonprofit I work for. I can sit down and work on that for 2 hours. But then I'm going to move on with my day. I'm not going to keep going back to it. I'm not going to like get sucked in and do it for 6 hours because then I feel burnout and overwhelmed and then I don't do it again. It's the same with YouTube or, my full-time job. If I do it for too long at one time, I just get really overwhelmed and overworked and I just feel really burnout and then I may not do it for a few days at all. I feel like if I have a smaller set amount of time that I do these things every day, it helps me continue to do them every day instead of like doing 10 hours of work and then not picking it up for 2 days because I just did 10 hours and I need a break. So I feel like all of the things I talked about are really helpful to help you relax and to just help you focus on yourself for a little bit. So many times, especially as women, I feel like we were always thinking about our partners or our children or our coworkers or our friends. We don't give ourselves that same space that we deserve. Sometimes you have to look at yourself as your best friend and treat yourself like you would treat your best friend, right? Like if your best friend is feeling bad, you're going to hype her up. So if you're feeling bad, hype yourself up. We really need to start loving ourselves and start giving ourselves the attention that we deserve. And some of the people in our life can do with a little bit less of our attention so that we can focus on ourselves. Because the better we are, the better we're going to be for the people around us. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.